Hello and welcome to the last part of the Every Tuesday free tips and advice portfolio series. Over the last couple of weeks, we went through choosing the right projects for your portfolio and then going over which components need to be a part of each project, the information you need to supply, and then ordering all of those projects and how many projects should be in your portfolio. So now that you've got a great body of work that you're ready to present to future employers, this week I want to talk about getting noticed. And this actually corresponds directly with the launch of my new ebook, Full-Time Graphic Design. If you've ever wanted to get a career in graphic design, going full-time, a salaried position with benefits, this ebook walks you through all of my tips over the course of my 8-year professional design career, sitting on both sides of the interview table, everything I've learned over that time that can really set you up and help you to stand out in an interview, just getting noticed for the first time. So that's fulltimegraphicdesign.com. So this week in this video, I want to talk about some tips that you can use immediately, whether you're self-taught or you're traditionally educated. You can use these tips to begin getting yourself noticed and in front of the right people. So I've got a few quick tips. The first one, above anything else, is get yourself a digital presence. There's too many options these days, so there's no excuse for not being able to do this. If you're a blog reader, you know that last week on every-tuesday.com, on my blog, I posted a roundup of great resources of getting your work online really quickly. You don't need to know code. You don't even need to know WordPress, although being familiar with WordPress is pretty important these days. About 20% of the world's websites are based on WordPress, so it could be a really nice selling point in an interview if you're familiar with WordPress. But if you don't have that time to invest to learn, there are some free options and some subscription-based options that are great for getting your work online really fast, and you'll have a link that you can supply to potential future employers right away. So get yourself a digital presence. The next thing that kind of coincides directly with that is do not attach a PDF portfolio to an email. Don't do it. It's such an outdated practice, and because there are so many options these days to get your work online, there's no excuse for attaching that PDF portfolio. Employers' inboxes, the space in them is extremely valuable, and PDFs take up a lot of space, so it's a nice, respectful practice as well. So show that you're more current of a designer, do yourself a favor, and don't do that. Okay, so the next thing that you can do is send out a promo mailer. And I kind of touched on this in my graphic design story video from a few weeks ago. And this doesn't have to be too fancy. It can be really low cost and affordable. If you don't have it in your budget to do this, don't stress over it. You don't have to do this, but it is a nice option. If you'd like to send them out, my recommendation would be to just take your time and send them out to your very top picks. Unless you have it in your budget to send it to everyone on your list, which most students and people that are looking for a job don't really have that. So if you're going to do it, just send it to your top picks, because there's no telling whether it'll even be opened. So if you're going to invest in that type of promotion, you want to reserve it for just the people that really matter to you. So a promo mailer. The last tip is a cold email. And in my ebook, I actually share real world examples of cold emails that people have sent. And we dissect them, what works and what doesn't work. And I actually even supply a cold email draft that you can steal and use for yourself and give you some really nice pointers on getting yourself noticed, because that's a free option that's actually available to everybody. And if you're competing with everybody, you want to make sure that you put some things in place to really stand out. One more thing that I want to mention is LinkedIn. I know LinkedIn's super business world, but there's actually a ton of companies on there. And if you're looking for the contact information for the right person, because even if you send a killer email out, if it doesn't get in front of the right eyes, then it's all in vain. So LinkedIn is a great place to kind of find out who the contact is at the company that you'd like to work for, so you know that you're directing your email to the right person. LinkedIn is also a great place to find recruiters, and recruiters are pretty cool because they may ask you to take an art test before they take you on as their client, but they don't get paid until they find you a job, so they're incentivized to actually find you a job. So there's a lot of recruiters over on LinkedIn, so it's a good option for that. that. Even though it's super like not creative at all, LinkedIn is a great resource for that. And I've listed a ton of other resources to find jobs, visit job boards. So all of that is also in the ebook. We go much deeper than anything covered here, but I wanted to give you some quick tips to get you started and on the right path right away. So for my personal experience, as I mentioned in my graphic design story, I got my first job at a job fair because of a promo that I created. My second job, the company found me because I had an online presence, and it was actually on a free site where I had just put up some work for my portfolio. So that's how I got discovered. I didn't even hear of them, but they found me that way. So that just proves, having an online digital presence, not only does it help you to send to employers, but potential employers could actually find you that way without you even knowing about it. My third position, actually, when I was at my second position, the printer that we used, I became really good friends with them, and they were very well connected with other design studios in Atlanta. And they set me up with an interview with someone who had just made some hires, but he passed my information along to some other studios, and that's how I actually got my third position. So I know networking is like the worst word in the entire world, but it actually does work. And I know it can feel really overwhelming if you're just getting out of school and you don't have any connections at all. I just wanted to assure you that even if you don't know someone who knows someone, there are other options for getting yourself noticed quickly. So I hope this collection of tips gives you a little more confidence in getting yourself out there. And if you'd like to hear more about all of these topics, be sure to head on over to fulltimegraphicdesign.com. And actually, if you're just getting ready to graduate and you need some extra eyes on your portfolio and could really use just someone looking over it and giving you some advice on ways to go, I've included an option with the ebook where I personally will review and evaluate your portfolio for you. So all of that information is all included over at fulltimegraphicdesign.com. If you enjoyed this series and videos like this, please subscribe. I release a new video or a design tutorial every single Tuesday, and be sure to head on over to my blog for more information, for freebies, and other design tutorials over at every-tuesday.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.